Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, John Butter, the only YouTuber with cheese grits. This is a really great place by my house. They make the best cheese grits. Today I want to talk about the Kissing Booth movies. Now, I've seen all three Kissing Booth movies at least twice, which is not a good thing to have done, but it is a thing. It has happened. So it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm going to make a video. I don't want to feel like I've wasted my time, which I definitely have. So I'm going to make a video talking about them. The Kissing Booth movies are bad. There's no getting around that. They're bad movies. They're not good movies. And they're bad movies. The nicest thing I can say about them is that, one, I think they get better as they go on. And two, at least the actors looked like they had a lot of fun making them. Good for them. There's a lot of things I could talk about in regards to this trilogy, but I think my number one gripe about the trilogy is that all the characters are awful. Hold on, let me back up. Let me just give you brief synopsis for the first Kissing Booth movie. So Elle and Lee are best friends. Lee has an older brother named Noah. He's a bad boy. Elle has feelings for Noah, but she can't date him because Elle and Lee have this special best friend rule list. One of the rules being no dating relatives. A weird rule considering they made this list when they were kids. So Elle and Noah end up dating anyway. Lee finds out about it. He gets kind of pissy about it, but at the end he's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then 2 and 3, the plots do not matter. So like I said, every character sucks. Noah is controlling and douchey. Elle is like a compulsive people pleaser. She doesn't think about herself, she only cares about pleasing others, which on the surface doesn't seem bad, but by the third movie, she keeps double booking her schedule, so she's always disappointing someone. But the worst character of them all is Lee Flynn. I hate him. He's the least likable character in cinematic history. He's selfish, he's manipulative, he's this spoiled rich kid who's gotten everything he's ever wanted, and the second something doesn't go his way, he pitches a shit fit. When Lee found out that Elle and Noah were dating, he said something along the lines of, "You were the only thing that I had that Noah couldn't have, and now he has it." She's a human being, Lee. Christ. By the way, when he said that, he was in a classic convertible that he got for his Sweet 16. Fuck you. But there is one good character in this trilogy. One shining beacon of kindness and patience and selflessness, and that is Rachel. I forgot the actress's name, but she is South African, which makes sense because, I don't know if you know this, they filmed most of the trilogy in South Africa. I don't know why. It's gotta be cheaper than California, right? I looked up way too much info about these movies. In the first movie, there is a scene where Joey King had to eat a lot of hamburgers, and on that day, they filmed a scene where she was playing soccer, and she ended up throwing up because she ate a lot of hamburgers and then started doing sports. Hey guys, it's called a spit bucket. Idiots, you spit food into a bucket, you don't have to actually eat it. It's a movie, it doesn't have to be real. Spit it into a bucket. Anyway, back to Rachel. She is too good for these movies, and she gets dumped on so hard. Dude, especially in the second movie. Do you want to know how bad she gets it in the second movie? Okay, so Kissing Booth 2 is about Elle and Lee's senior year. Elle is still dating Noah, who's in college now. He's in Harvard, which is wild to me because I didn't think he could read. And Lee is in a relationship with Rachel. So the movie starts with Elle and Lee on their way to school, on their way to their posh-ass private school where they wear uniforms, which is such a Wattpad thing to add. Lee stops by Rachel's house to pick her up, and I swear to God, they make her sit back seat so Elle could sit shotgun.
Oh, okay.
And she's just okay with this? That alone warrants a conversation. But Rachel is nice about it. She sits in the back, doesn't make a fuss about it at all, because she's Rachel. She's nice. A little bit later on, they're like walking down the boardwalk or something, and Elle and Lee are basically forcing Rachel out of the conversation by only talking in inside jokes. They're talking about their rule list in a way that no one else could understand. They're just like, but what about rule number 9? What about rule number 20? But what about rule number 27? No one knows what you're fucking talking about. But again, Rachel doesn't make a fuss about it. She doesn't get mad. She just excuses herself from the outing. She's like, oh, I have a headache. I'll meet up with you guys later. So already, we've got some pretty bad red flags. Then Lee goes ahead and stands her up on a goddamn date. He got too hung up playing Dance Dance Revolution with Elle, and then Elle mentions Rachel's name, and he's like, oh no, I was supposed to go see a movie with Rachel tonight.
You think Rachel would do it?
Oh shit, Rachel.
Motherfucker, how are you gonna forget that you have a girlfriend? So Lee goes over to Rachel's house, and that's where she's finally fed up. She doesn't explode, she doesn't blow up at him, but she is clearly visibly upset, as she should be. She tells him, point blank, look, we are dating. If I am not one of your priorities, then this relationship does not make sense. You have to talk to Elle and ask her to give us some space so we can have some time together alone. You know, like a couple. And Lee goes, okay. But he doesn't do that because he's Lee and he's a piece of shit. Rachel goes, did you talk to Elle? And Lee goes, yeah. But he didn't. Because he's a piece of shit.
Did you speak to her?
Don't worry. I took care of everything. She will be giving us plenty of space.
But it's not a huge problem, not until the Halloween party. So Elle, Lee, and Rachel are planning on going to the Halloween party in a group costume. They're going to go as s'mores, with Elle and Lee as the graham crackers and Rachel as the marshmallow. Now I know what you're thinking. Graham crackers, marshmallows, but where's the chocolate? And that's exactly what I was thinking throughout all 3 of these movies. I'm saying there's no black people in them. Lee and Elle decide last minute to change their costumes without telling Rachel. So Lee and Elle show up to the Halloween party dressed as Ghostbusters, and Rachel is still a fucking marshmallow. That is humiliating. That is absolutely embarrassing. This is like the second time that Lee forgets that he has a girlfriend. I say screw 3 strikes, you forget your girlfriend 2 times in a row and you're done. To make matters worse, during the Halloween party, Lee and Elle do this weird dance number in the middle of the dance floor. It's this big choreographed thing. They make a space. They make a circle for them to dance so that everybody could see them. It's not enough that they're the main characters of the movie. They also have to be the main characters of the dance too. After that, Rachel just blows up at Elle. And I know what you're thinking. Elle didn't deserve to be yelled at. She didn't know that Rachel wanted more time alone with Lee. Well, considering how Lee told Rachel that he talked to Elle about it, but really he didn't, and Rachel believed him for some reason, you can kind of see how she can be mad at Elle in this moment.
My God, Al, with you around, I literally can't spend a moment alone with my own boyfriend.
Anyway, cut to Thanksgiving. Noah and Lee's family are hosting Thanksgiving, and for some reason, Noah and Lee can invite their girlfriends to the family dinner. And there's a lot of other plot lines in the movie, so tensions are pretty high. There's already a lot of other drama. But on top of that, Elle says to Rachel, why have you been icing me out lately? Why have you been ignoring me? And Rachel goes, didn't Lee tell you to give us some space? And Elle is like, no. He never talked to me about that. And Rachel goes, what? No, of course he did. Tell him, Lee. And Lee is like, ooh, Oh, I lied about that. I was gonna tell her, but then I didn't.
Lee, tell her.
I tried to, but
So then, all at once, Rachel realizes not only that her boyfriend is a lying piece of shit, but also that she yelled at Elle for no reason. So now she's embarrassed, and she runs out of the Thanksgiving dinner, and once Lee catches up with her, Rachel is like, you fucking lied to me, you piece of shit.
she's my best friend.
You lied to me.
And she makes this big revelation that she listened in on a conversation between Elle and Lee in the first movie, where Lee openly admitted that he would break up with Rachel if Elle didn't like her.
What if I didn't like having her around? What would you do then?
I guess I'd break up with her.
Rachel heard that and still kept dating him. It's like, Rachel, honey, you don't need this. You don't deserve this. So Lee and Rachel break up, and also Rachel makes amends with Elle. Because again, she wasn't the one that Rachel was ever supposed to be mad at. It was all Lee. But then a little bit of time passes, and they do the kissing booth again, and somehow they trick Lee and Rachel into kissing each other while they're both blindfolded, and then they just get back together.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
It's just frustrating, you know? I can't think of another character who has gone through more pain and betrayal and heartache than Rachel in Kissing Booth 2. Maybe Samara Weaving in Ready or Not, but that's about it. And then in the third movie, Rachel mostly does nothing. The third movie, of course, takes place in the summer before they all go to college. Rachel is planning on going to a Rhode Island design school while Lee is going to UC Berkeley. So he's all like, oh, I've mapped out our schedules so we can spend the most time together as possible. Rachel is clearly not on board. And then at one point near the end of the movie, she does the right thing in breaking up with Lee. Specifically because she knows that keeping up a long-distance relationship is going to be way too much work. That, on top of college? How about no? But then they do like a 6-year time jump at the end, and Lee and Rachel are still together, and they're getting married, which is gross. Rachel deserves so much better than Lee. Lee is the worst person ever. What is the point of this video? Why am I doing this? You don't want to hear about this. I don't want to talk about it. That was a lie, I did want to talk about it. Anyway, this video has been sponsored by He's All That, the gender-swapped remake of She's All That. Okay, I've been talking for way too long, I'm gonna head out. But before the video ends, make sure you smash that MF like and subscribe. You can also check out my Patreon if you want to help support my channel. And you can also buy my cheese grits. Just kidding, I would never sell these. Not even for $1 million. Not even for all of King Arthur's gold and silver. Yeah. Alright, have a great day, John Butter fandom. I thought that was a pretty good one. Okay.